Well, hi there. Welcome back to another Let's Play episode with Belmathuin. Today, I think we're going to take a note from our tutorial channel, and we're going to make a kelp and a sugarcane farm. It's something that I've been meaning to do. I've been putting it off. I just really didn't feel like doing it. But it's gotten to the point where I've missed out on a ton of kelp and a ton of sugarcane that would have just naturally accrued for us while we were building all that other stuff out there. So we just got to bite the bullet and get it done, right? I'm going to need a bunch of glass because I think I've got an idea for this one. Holy cow, that's a lot of panes. Yeah, we'll call that enough panes. We'll stick that back in there. So I'm thinking that we're going to do kelp and sugarcane kind of along these walls here. Like maybe have a collection point right in here somewhere. And over here, we're gonna maybe start right there and work our way all the way around, and we're gonna cut out that, and that, kind of make them like this. We're gonna put the glass in place of the concrete powder, and the farm directly behind it. So the farms will be right behind the wall, and we'll be able to see them, but they'll still look like part of the wall. At least that's what I'm thinking. And maybe kelp and sugarcane, because that'll give us what? 7, 8, 9. So it's about 9 per section. So we're looking at about 27 wide for each of these farms. Plus, oh, these are 7, 8. Plus another 8. So that's 16 tall. So there's some possibilities there. There's a lot of unused space right there. So I'm gonna start chipping away at the walls, and I'll be back with you in just a minute. Oh, we've made a little bit of progress. I've got I think I've got it dug deep enough back, and double jump is so useful. And I got it all the way around for one layer. I'm gonna have to go all the way back down to there. So I got a lot more digging ahead. Just thought I'd share a little bit of the progress. And oh yeah, that piston door, we totally demolished the redstone for it. Oh well, we'll figure it out after we get the farms up. Because thanks for not engaging, Mr. Elytra. Yeah, hopefully you guys can see what I'm getting at. I'm starting to be able to picture it even better myself. And I guess we'll be back when more of it's empty. And we're back. We've got a large, huge empty space. We've more or less filled 2 double chests and a shulker box full. Let's see. I needed a couple more of these. Full of all sorts of resources. Now we got, I started out this first section, and I've just gotten a tutorial made for this kelp farm that I'm making right now. So if you want a more in-depth look into how to make that, you know, definitely check out the tutorial. It's only like a 10-minute video. And so what we have here is we have a place for a water stream. We have a panel of glass panes for the kelp to float up to the top and flow over and fall down along. And this row of glass panes is because give me that. It's because in my testing, I noticed that sometimes the kelp would slide down, but it would land right there and stay. I found that if I put a glass pane right here, the water stream would grab it. I didn't see any instances of it not grabbing it. So there's our water stream, all the way up top. Do I have enough of these? Yes, I do. All right, this platform right here is where the kelp is going to be placed. There's the pistons that break them, and let's head on up. Yeah. All right, now I'm thinking maybe I want to go down one, because I don't want to reach up into the floor above. That kind of that would make it difficult, because like over there we have that shulker sorting storage system, and it's like right above the block right here, but all the way over there. So I'm thinking maybe we just put the observers on this level. We're not going to lose a whole lot. Let's see, can I place it the right way? Yes, I can. I need some more blocks though. There we go. This ledge right here will be for redstone. And then the roof, I'm probably going to have to remove those glass panes. Yeah, otherwise it's going to, yeah. Otherwise I'll have to remove that block, which, especially like right there, would allow the green concrete powder to fall through. And we don't want that. Let me just nab these real quick. I might lose a couple, but glass is cheap. And we have a pretty decent cactus farm. Which, by the way, I took the same cactus farm we built in the lighthouse, and I built it over here, except like twice as tall. Alright, so we want a whole lot more green concrete. Maybe I should think about designing that a little differently. I don't know. I know we're definitely going to want some light back here so that the redstone updates aren't just completely demolishing our frames. Yeah, so that's the gist of the farm. It's just observers with redstone behind them. We're going to have, can I get down there? And one more. We're going to have observers at random points. Well, not so random. You know, I'm going to want like 12 or 15 spaces along there. But the redstone is going to ignite this here observer, and it's going to fire on an observer chain all the way down. And it's going to activate the pistons. All of the kelp will flow up a water stream and fall down along the glass. Pretty simple concept. Yeah, I'm going to play around with maybe a different design so it's not just a solid green box. And we'll get back to you. And we're back, and I am really liking this design that I came up with. I kind of just took the design that was already in the wall and pushed it back into the back wall of the kelp farm. I just used acacia, and I really think that looks good with the water in it. That one is a standalone. It will feed into this. I'll probably end up making a water path behind all of this, going over to here, and I'm thinking about doing a shulker loader right here, like an automatic shulker loader like we got over there. We won't have to do the sorting because, you know, it's only one thing going through this line. And then another one right here for the sugar cane that we're going to put along this wall. I think it's going to come out real good. I do still have water bucket on me. Alright, so I made a little infinite water source back here. And let me show you the back real quick. I'm just using ladders to get through. Right now, once that's all closed up over there, maybe I'll leave a door in the shulker loader panel. But other than that, I can always just pop out those two logs and come through here. And let's head on up. The farm's pretty simple. I'm going to be putting the tutorial out possibly tomorrow morning. I'll be putting the tutorial out. Or it might already be out by the time this video. I'm not sure. It's tough keeping the timeline straight in your head when you're doing multiple things that are related to each other. But really all it is the top level. You're going to want it probably under 20 blocks tall for the kelp blocks. But the top layer is observers feeding into a redstone line, so that if any one of the kelp actually makes it up high enough to go in front of the observer, you're going to wind up lighting up that entire line, which lights up that observer and fires all these observers all the way down to this line of redstone, which is on a line of blocks with pistons in front of them. I mean, yeah, that line of pistons has that row of blocks behind it with the redstone on top. And that's it. That's the whole farm. It's pretty simple. The reason I'm doing it this way, is because, let me do the F3 screen. Alright, so you can see on the left side, targeted block, Minecraft kelp, age 21. So that kelp block will only go up one, that would be 22, 23, 24, 25. So the highest that is ever going to get is right there. That's not going to trigger our observers. So the hope is that we wind up with one like this, where the top is 19, 11. Okay, so 11 should get us all the way up here. As long as one of these makes it all the way up, it'll trigger the whole line of pistons. Let me get rid of those numbers. Yeah, it'll trigger the whole line of pistons. And actually, let me bring that back for a second. If you're paying attention, that's age 19, right? If I punch it, making a new top block, that's age 22. If I punch that again, making a new top block, 18. So it's RNG. That one's age 5. I'm actually going to leave that one. That one's age 21. It's never going to get to the top. That one's age 22. This one is age 23. Now it's age 10. So you can see where I'm going with this. So as easy as it would be, even though it'd be more expensive, to run one of these chains down from each one of the observers so that each one would fire individually at maximum growth, you're dealing with RNG here. So your best bet is to quite simply just put RNG out of the question. It's very unlikely that one of these won't reach the top. I mean, I'm not saying it's never going to happen, but it's very unlikely that one of these that you'll wind up with a group of this many kelp and not have one grow all the way up to the observers. So that's kind of why I did it that way. So you're definitely, I would definitely say choose a max grow height of less than 20. That way your odds are better, but you're still getting a pretty good harvest whenever those pistons fire. And this time around, I got a water bucket on me, but that's not going to do us any good here, is it? So I have this one all set up except for the observer line coming down. And I just want to show you real quick how to get the water in there. So you can just place one. You just place a water down. Ow! Refill your bucket. Yeah, ladders are super useful right about now. And this will allow you to float, because you want to place one every other observer block. Like that. And now, let me up. Is it gonna let me? No, it's not gonna let me. So I'm just gonna do this a bunch more times, and we'll be right back. Well, we're back again, and I made a bit of a design change. I had this brilliant idea previously to try to make the farm zigzag with this diagonal, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to get the items to flow along that zigzag without getting caught in little corners. And I couldn't think of anything, and then I decided, well, what if I just built that straight out until both corners met? That would not only solve that problem, but also it would definitely get us more kelp spots. I mean, that bought us probably another 15 kelp spots. So that worked out really well. And with this little space that was left in here, I thought it might make a nice little nature feature. A little custom tree. I couldn't get one to grow. And, you know, some ferns and pod soil and some, what are these called? I know they have a name. I know it. Blue orchid. Okay. I threw some blue orchids in there. I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. But I got over here again with a fresh stack of observers because we're gonna go around and lay out some of these observers. So what I did was I laid the redstone line out behind the pistons, and I grabbed a couple of. Do I have another one? I do. Well, actually, I won't need it, will I? So I counted out 15 this way and lit it up with a lever just to make sure that all the redstone would go, which means that this spot needs to be one of the observer chains going up to the top. And I did the same this way. It also appears that there's going to be a little bit of overlap, which is good, because every time those pistons fire, it gives us a brand new random age number for the kelp block or a kelp plant, and you know, gives us a better chance of one of them reaching up to an observer. So I think we're going to do a observer chain here. I've got to, yeah, I'm just out of range of my beacons over here, so if I go right there and then hurry, I can use a little bit of the double jump action to get up over the redstone. Oh no, this is not what I wanted, is it? Yeah, I want the observers going this way. Alright, so never mind. That point was completely, or that tip was completely pointless, and I'm an idiot. It happens. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Alright. And no. Let's see. So we don't need that anymore. And let's drop down here to place the last one. There we go. Pick block. Yeah, so I don't need to worry about getting the jump boost. I don't know where I can move those beacons so that they'll be more in the middle of the base. I wish I could figure that out, though. If you have any ideas, leave them down in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Let's get rid of that lever. And we'll go down right here. And break out a couple of these. Ah. Yeah, I should have known. Alright, that should do it. Fill in the hole so I don't go falling through it, because almost guarantee I would. We're also going to need to go back up here and replace that redstone. Okay, so I did get one of them. Yep, and you just heard the pistons fire. And there's the other piece. And there's the pistons. Alright, so that part's done. Anything that grows up in front of any of these observers is going to fire either that one, or both of our observer chains, which is going to get all of our pistons going. This little weird configuration of concrete, it's just so that from out here, when you look up through, you don't see the stone. Well, you do when you swim up, but not very many people are going to be doing that. Alright, and to finish the farm, all we gotta do is lay out kelp like this, and as it grows, it's going to create water source blocks all along this wall and that wall, which will be exactly what we need. We want this to be water source, we want this to be flowing water. Water source, flowing water. And that way, when some kelp comes out, let's see, we'll just throw it. No, it's not working right now because these aren't source blocks yet. Let me take you over to where there are source blocks. Eventually, they'll all make their way up there. And then go right along like that. Let's watch these ones, because it's super exciting. So basically the water is going to push them over, and they're going to go up against the glass, fall straight down into this water line, go up against the block here, and I made I made this wall go out a couple, because some of the blocks I tested with were kind of hitting this at an angle and continuing their angle, and they would wind up, get out of the ledge mode. They would wind up like right there. They would kind of spin around and come around at the angle because of the flowing water and wind up right there. And by putting this here, it makes them have to slide along the side of this block, and it keeps them in the water stream for me. And they wind up over here. Now, technically, I could go and, make them all water sources by doing this. But, that's gonna take way too long. I don't really feel like doing that. When, with a little bit of patience, it'll do it on its own. I mean, granted, not all of these are gonna grow up to be tall enough to finish it off, but wherever they stop, I can just come in and maybe start from that block or wherever they happen to be stopped, and save myself a little bit of effort swimming around in these stupid water streams. This section out over here, however, ready to go. So yeah, that's it. Once these are all source blocks all along this wall and this wall, this farm's done. Except for the collection. So maybe, just for temporary and for funsies, let's get ourselves a couple of hoppers, a couple of chests right here at the end. I use the blue ice because, well, we have a ton of it, and some signs just on the back of the supports, so they're hidden. And on the back of that, actually having to put that one there, originally it was a concrete block, but having to put that there is kind of what gave me the idea to place, you know, a boulder and a tree and all that other stuff. So sometimes just playing the game and placing blocks, you wind up coming up with something that, like, I wasn't coming up with that on my own. I had to come up, well, I did come up with it on my own. I'm rambling, but you know, I wouldn't have come up with that just standing over there and thinking. But placing that block, I was like, hey, wait a second, there's a nice little area here. I can do something with that. And I need to put something there. What can it be? You know, it just kind of led to a boulder and a tree in the middle of my base. Alright, so let's get back to what we're actually doing. Now let's see, we'll go there and there and there. And there. No. You give me those back. Can I not get them? You know what, we're gonna do this then. Whoa, hello. Oh, I know why. Because I have the freaking conduit effect on me. Alright, that makes a little bit more sense. Because that part is functional, so it's going to start firing off at some point. Hopefully a bunch of this grows up, and I'll just come back later and finish it off. So yeah, other than the shulker sorting system that's going to go right over here, that farm is done. And I gotta say, the lit up water with the dark wall behind it, I did not expect the water to kind of brighten up like that. That is really nice. I like that a lot. I don't know, maybe it's because I have green glass and a green background. It highlights the water because maybe the glass panes kind of disappear into the back pane. I'm not sure. I gotta do something up there too. Maybe a little bit of like a cave type deal, like some mossy cobble, some cobblestone, some andesite, just kind of like a stalactite or something. That might be something that I end up doing up there, because I think that would look good. But yeah, I think we're gonna do the same thing with the sugarcane farm. You know, maybe this extra little section over here that mirrors where we have that tree, maybe we turn that into an aquarium with like a dolphin and a couple of fish in it. That might be cool. We're gonna have to check that out when it comes time, and well, see how much room the sugarcane farm takes up. Yeah, that's definitely something. So I'm gonna get to placing blocks on the sugarcane farm. I do have a tutorial up on the channel that's gonna be a whole lot more in depth than what I'm gonna be doing on this episode, because you know, maybe the sugarcane's gonna be next episode, because I think I'm already getting fairly close to full episode's worth of recording already. I guess we'll see when I edit it. If I wind up having to cut out a lot, then you'll see them both in this episode. Otherwise, you'll still end up seeing them both, just not this episode. For editing purposes, I'm going to go ahead and throw a little bit of a, if you liked what you saw, learned something new, and or have questions or comments, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Leave them down in the comment sections of the video. I'll try to get back to you. And until next episode, hope everyone has a good night.